Hi divas, welcome to my channel. My name is Maddie and I'm coming to you from a Glenda cosplay. I'm not sure how this happened. I just woke up and then something took over me. So if you can hear really weird things going on outside, I think all the construction in the world is happening right outside my window. So today I'm going to be ranking Disney and Nick shows based on how much I liked them as a kid. This has nothing to do with how I feel about them right now. I chose this specific parameter simply because I watched so much TV as a kid. I really only watched Disney and Nick. I rarely went outside of that. This also just includes shows I remember watching. I wasn't really like a kid when some of these came out, but I do remember watching them, so I felt like including them, but I just want to put that out there that I was not a kid when I was watching like a good majority of these. Once again, where the shows are ranked is not where I would rank them today. We're tuning into past Maddie's brain, which is something I don't like to do very often, but we need to for today. Without further ado, let's see our categories. The first one we have is I was supposed to be in the movie.
Thank you. I was supposed to be in the video.
Really?
This essentially means like I was so in tune with the show that I should have been in the show at that point. Second category we have is clocking in, which I was just clocking in. As in, if there was a new episode on Friday, I was sitting my butt down on Friday to watch it. Next we have I was there, man.
I was there, man. You saw it happen, man.
Yeah, that was pretty much me. I literally was there when it was happening. I wouldn't say this is integral to my life, but I was there when it happened, and I could probably remember a few things if you asked me to. Next we have I didn't know that was happening.
I didn't know that was happening.
This pretty much means like if it was on, I was watching it, but I wouldn't say it was like my favorite show ever. And I wouldn't really like tell people that I was watching this show, but it was like, it's different from I Was There, Man. They're very different and they're distinctive. Once I get some shows in there, maybe you'll understand. And then last we have EVILBOIS.
EVILBOIS.
This means like bottom of the barrel, I hated these shows. Looking at the lineup here, I'm not really sure I want to go in order, but we're gonna do it anyway. So the first thing we have is Bizaardvark. So this is a show that I do remember watching. I did enjoy it to a certain degree. I'm not sure like I would say it was my favorite show. I wouldn't say I was like clocking in though. I think I'm gonna put it in I was there, man, because I could tell you I was in fact there. I was there when it happened. I could probably tell you a few things if you needed me to. And I think I was like talking to people about this show. But I'm pretty sure I would say like, oh yeah, it's really bad, even though I was there watching it. So the next one we have is The Adventures of Kid Danger. Good God, I hate the universe for putting this second. I hated this show. I absolutely hated it. I thought it was the dumbest shit ever. And also, I didn't understand like how it made sense that it was like a real show within the universe. It just confused me. And that was a season 4 episode. Good God, was I still watching up till season 4? Wow. Wow, that's impressive. Next one we have is Win, Lose, or Draw. This was so important to me. This show, I loved this show, and no one remembers it. No one's talking about it. Even my sister didn't remember what it was about until I had to like force the memory into her mind. I would say I was supposed to be in the movie. I wanted to be on it so bad. So badly did I want to be on this show, simply just so that I could sit there with like the Disney Channel stars. Next one we have is Double Dare, which was on Nickelodeon. I'm pretty sure there was 2 different versions running while I was watching Nickelodeon. There was one with Liza Koshy, I think. I wouldn't say that like I was talking to people about this show. I didn't think I enjoyed it that much. So I think I'm gonna put it in I didn't know that was happening. See, are you getting the distinction now between I Was There, Man and I didn't know that was happening? Yeah, for sure. Even I don't know what it means. So next one we have is Jessie. This was the first show I remember like I was there for the start of, if that makes sense. I think I was there for the start of probably other shows too, but this is one I like have a key memory of. I don't remember liking it that much. Well, that's just not true. That's not the truth, Ellen. I remember the one episode that Maya Mitchell is in. There was a special that she was in. I wanted to watch that episode so bad. I was literally clocked in, you could say, but I was grounded and my mom said I couldn't watch the TV. And my sister remembers this story because she was the only one who got to watch it and I had to do a puzzle in the kitchen. I still think about this to this day. I have forgiven my mom. I was probably in trouble for something. I'm not sure if it was worthy of missing this episode of Jessie. Was there a rerun? Yes. There was reruns all the time. And I've seen it about 1,000,000 times since then. But it really hurt at that moment. So for that reason, I'm going to say clocking in. I'm not sure if I was clocking in every episode, but definitely for that one. And for that reason, I think it deserves to go there. Next one we have is Lab Rats Elite Force. This is one of the worst shows I've maybe ever seen in my life. And I say that about a lot of things. I'm very over-exaggerant when it comes to literally anything. But this is like objectively a horrible show. A horrible show. It doesn't make any sense. It murders both shows. It's like, I don't even know what they were doing. Clearly nothing. Clearly the writing board was empty and they were like, you know what, let's throw things at the wall. And they decided to put everything in there that didn't stick. It's so awesome and so impressive that they managed to do that. However, I loved this show. When it was airing, I loved this damn show. I thought it was the best thing ever created. I was like, it's merging my 2 favorite shows together. Well, yes. And I truly did want to be in that show. I was like, I don't know what I'll do, but I want to be there. So for that reason, it has to go. I was supposed to be in the movie, but it shouldn't be there. Like, objectively, it's a bad show, but I thought it was a good show. I used to have a shirt. My sister mentioned this in her Lab Rats video. You can go watch it if you want. But I used to have a shirt. It was pink and it said, "This girl watches Lab Rats Elite Force." And then it had 2 thumbs up right here pointing up to me. Does that shirt exist anymore? No, thankfully. Thankfully it does not. And I also only had 1 photo of me wearing it. It is gone. I think the universe was doing me a favor and it just like wiped it from existence. Thank you. I appreciate that. But now I don't have proof, but at the same time, I don't think anyone would think that I'm lying about that. It's like utterly embarrassing that I had that. Okay, the next one we have is Mech X4. So this was a show that me and my sister would watch when it was on, and we secretly loved this show. This was like something we really liked, but it was on Disney XD. For some reason, when I was a kid, I watched a lot of Disney XD, but for some reason this show to me was like, that's a boy show, and I can't watch that. But I did anyway. Regardless of everything going on, we were clocking in for sure. That's why it's going in, clocking in. Next up is Victorious. I loved Victorious. It was one of my favorite shows. I didn't really watch the show when it was airing because I had a Kindle and I would just watch it on like Amazon Prime when it was like uploaded in there. So I wouldn't say that I was clocking in, but at the same time, I really did like the show. And I had the fattest crush on Jade, except I didn't know what that meant yet. For that reason, I'm gonna put her and I was supposed to be in the movie just because of how much I thought about this show. Like I thought about it on the daily. Next one is Right Now Kapow. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I actually wouldn't blame you at all. This I don't think is in the mental mind space of anyone but me and my sister. We still talk about this show to this day. I think it only had like 2 seasons on Disney XD, and I'm not even sure it's a Disney show. I think they might have just got the rights for it. But regardless, we loved it. It was so funny to us at the time. I don't know if it's funny now. You can't watch it anywhere unless you do it illegally, which I would never do. I would be interested to see if it's as funny as I remember it being, but I did love this show. Like I would change the channel to see if this was on. That was something I would do. So for that reason, it has to go, and I was supposed to be in the movie, of course. Not only were we clocking in, but we were changing the channel just to go see it. The next one we have is Are You Afraid of the Dark? Specifically like the 2018 version that Nickelodeon put out. This was like a limited time series. I think there was only like 3 episodes. I really liked this show when it was coming out. Me and my sister, we were clocking in, to say the least. So I'm gonna put it in clocking in because every time there was like, I was waiting for the new episode. The one of the 3, of course. Okay, next one is Player Select. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I actually wouldn't blame you at all once again because this is not something that people should be seeing. I think that this was their way of introducing kids to gaming, but I don't know why they just couldn't go on YouTube because that's where all these videos were from. They're just YouTube videos from like a few selective people and they just like play games. Markiplier, notably, is one of these people. So is Jacksepticeye, and so is Dan TDM. That is how I found all of these people. It was through this damn show. Is that embarrassing to say? Well, yes, I was banned from watching YouTube for a good amount of years for reasons I'm not willing to get into right now. Just know it was my mom's fault, but I've forgiven her since. I didn't particularly like this show. I enjoyed it when they would only show clips of Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, or Dan TDM. So anything other than that, I was like, I'm turning this show off. So I think for that reason, I'm going to put it in I was there, man. I just can't remember like seeing myself talking to people about this show. I don't think I did. But I do remember going to watch Markiplier once I got my YouTube privileges back. I guess it did something, that's for sure. So the next one is Elena of Avalor. I don't remember if this was a Disney like junior show or it was on Disney Channel. When I looked it up, it said it was on Disney Channel, so I think it might have been on there. Regardless, I watched it. I remember watching it, so I have to talk about it anyway. I kind of liked it. I liked it in a way that I would never admit to someone that I liked the show. I was interested in the lore aspect of the show. I wouldn't say that I was like intrigued enough in the show itself because I thought it was kind of dumb. For that reason, I'm gonna put it in I was there, man. Because I did like some sort of aspects about it. I just didn't love it. Well, yes. Okay, the next one we have is So Random. I hated So Random when I was a kid. Every time I saw that it was on, it ruined my day. And I would just change the channel. It's easy enough to do that. I don't remember why I hated the show so much, but I just remember hating it. I guess I'll have to put it in EVILBOIS, but it shouldn't belong there. And also, if I had just kept watching, I would have seen the one Wishing Top. Next one we have is My Babysitter's Vampire. Not to be confused with the movie. There is a movie, but there was also a show. And the show I like, but not as much as the movie, if that makes sense. I don't know how that's possible. It's actually like a continuation. I'm not sure like how that worked. I just remember being like, oh, if it's on, like I guess I'll watch it if it's the only thing on. I'm gonna put it in, I didn't know that was happening. Just because I didn't really like it that much, despite me liking the movie. Next one we have is Phineas and Ferb. Instant, I was supposed to be in the movie. As in, I loved this show. I thought it was the best thing ever, and I still love it. I don't have much to say about it. Like, I just did. Next one we have Girl Meets World. This show is objectively horrible. It's really bad. I'm shocked that it made it out of the writer's room. That didn't stop little old me from finding anything enjoyable. I really liked this show. I bought some of the clothes from the Kohl's collection, Dark Days, and I remember wearing them to like in public. It was kind of embarrassing thinking about it now. I'm like, oh, good God, what was I doing? We'll never know. I also had a crush on Lucas, so maybe that's why I like was continuing to watch, but I also really liked Sabrina Carpenter. Shout out Dee. I don't know where to put this. I really don't want to put it in clocking in, but unfortunately, I think that's where it has to go, because when there was a new episode, I was there. Next one we have is Star versus the Forces of Evil. I hated this show. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you because I haven't seen it since. I'm sure it's a good show. I'm sure it's fine. I just hated it. I never wanted to see it. So for that reason, I have to put it in evil voice. I heard people say that it's really good. So I think I might have just been like a little bit crazy for thinking that it was really bad. The next thing I have is Nikki, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn. I really liked this show to a certain degree. I also wouldn't say that I was clocking in for new episodes. Like, I would watch it if I was watching Nickelodeon, if that makes sense. Most of the time I was watching Disney Channel. I was not like a Nick kid most of the time. So I would say I was there, man. I was there when it was happening. I couldn't recall a single thing from it right now, but I'm sure at the time I would talk to people about it. The next thing I have is Casey Undercover. I don't remember how I felt about Casey Undercover very well. I remember watching the new episodes, so I must have cared about it like a decent amount, and I remember talking to people about it, so I'm gonna put it in clocking in, because I remember being there for new episodes. I don't know if it was like integral to my lore, but I watched it. Okay, so the next one is Backstage. If you've never heard of Backstage, I also wouldn't blame you. This was like one season on Disney Channel. It's about like people and they go to this music school. It's like a drama. And for some reason I was kind of eating it up the first few episodes. And then after that I was like, actually this show like is garbage. Like I don't want to watch this anymore. So I'm going to put it in, I didn't know that was happening, because when it was on, I would turn it off. I was like, no. Yeah, never mind. It's going in EVIO. I liked the first like 2 episodes and I was like, never again. The next one is I Didn't Do It. I really liked I Didn't Do It. That might be a controversial thing to say. It's kind of a bad show. Like, it's not the greatest show in the world, but it's also, it's not horrible. I think I only watched it because Olivia Holt was in it and I had a fat crush on Olivia Holt. So for that reason, I'll put it in clocking in. I'm not sure if I was there for every new episode, but I might have been. The next one is Kickin' It. Kickin' It, goated show. It's a great show. Minus the 4th season. Never watched the 4th season. If you're thinking about watching it, just skip that one. They didn't even know they were getting renewed for a 4th. And so the 3rd feels like the end of the show. This was an amazing show. The next thing on here is called I Am Frankie. It's a Nickelodeon show, and I think there's only a season of the show. I don't remember how much of it there is. This show's really bad. I hated this show. It's kind of like a drama, but it's also kind of not. It's about this girl who's a robot, if you can believe it. I don't remember anything else about the show. I just remember that she's a robot, and she either has to keep that a secret, but people find out. I don't know. But I didn't like the show, so it's going at the bottom. Next one is Shake It Up. I loved this show. I loved Shake It Up so much that I wanted to do dance. A lot of my interests as a kid were shaped by what I was watching. So Kickin' It, obviously, I was like, let's do martial arts. But before that, it was, I want to dance. Was their dancing amazing? I'm not the judge of that. I don't know. I was supposed to be in the movie, of course. Okay, the next one is Stuck in the Middle. I remember watching this show. There's one episode with Joshua Bassett that I remember watching, because I had a fat crush on him when it was airing. So I'm gonna put it in I was there, because I was in fact there when it was airing. I don't think even then I had a strong opinion about it. Okay, the next show on here is Pickle and Peanut. I don't remember why I put this on here, but I remember me and my sister would watch this occasionally. I guess we enjoyed it to a certain degree, because when I was looking through these, I decided to put it on here. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it, and I didn't know that was happening, just because it wasn't something that we were tuning into regularly. Next up on here is Mighty Med Instant. I was supposed to be in the movie. I loved this show. I thought it was probably one of the best things on earth. And also, I had a fat crush on Jake Short, so that helps. Shout out my sister's video on Mighty Med. Next time we have Best Friends Whenever. So if you go back on my channel, you'll be able to see my video on Best Friends Whenever. I wouldn't say it's a great show, and I'm pretty sure that's what I said in the video. Regardless, I did really like this show when I was younger. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it in clocking in. I wouldn't say that it was my favorite show. I liked the concept. I also had a crush on Emery Kelly, and he's in the very first episode. The next one is Lab Rats. Instant. I was supposed to be in the movie. I had a crush on Chase. Can we be shocked by this news? No. Also, my favorite episode for like the longest time was Quarantined. I like would talk up and down about this episode. It's not that great, but for some reason as a kid, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. We had it recorded on our DVR. The next show on here is Crash and Bernstein. I fucking hated this show. I hated seeing its name in the guide. I thought it was so stupid. The next one on here is Coop and Cammy Ask the World. This was the last show I remember like watching on Disney Channel before I was like, yeah, I cannot be watching Disney Channel anymore. Like, this is really embarrassing. It created one of the best quotes of all time. It was the best joke ever between me and my sister. We think that Disney Plus took it out. This is a conspiracy theory between me and my sister. If anyone wants to confirm that, please do. This is something I think about often. It's the little brother. I know he says the joke, and then there's someone else with him, and it's something like, it's not or it's not. And then he goes, it's not, as in, you don't know which one he's saying. And that's the beauty of the joke. It's an amazing joke. We don't know where it is. We're confident that it's in season 1 because I don't remember watching season 2. It's nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. So if someone can find that for me, please let me know. That would be so awesome. Thank you. That joke wasn't enough for me liking the show though. I was just there when it was happening. The next one on here is Drake and Josh. I hated Drake and Josh. It's the sad truth. But I don't know why. As a kid, I was just like, no, I hate these guys. I never want to see their faces again. Like, I hated this show. I haven't seen it since. I don't think I've actually, like, ever seen a full episode of Drake and Josh. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. The next one on here is the 7D. There's so many things on here. I'm like, I'm not sure other people would know about these things, but it was this show about the 7 dwarves. I liked it enough. I don't know. I think I'm gonna put it in I was there. That seems good to me. I don't really have much else to say about that. Next one, fish hooks. I hated fish hooks. I really hated it. So for that reason, it has to go in evil. I don't think it deserves to go there, but I really hated it for whatever reason. I still don't know. Every time I like absolutely hated a show, there was never like a good reason. Unless I just thought it was annoying. Beyond me, I'm not sure. The next one on here is Henry Danger. I really liked Henry Danger. We all know this. This is information we all know about Maddie, and we don't need to dwell on it any longer. Thank you. Next one we have Gamer's Guide to Pretty Much Everything. R.I.P. Cameron Boyce. What a real one. I really liked this show. I thought it was amazing. Also, he has like the love interest in the show, and I really wanted them to get together. And then I think the finale is supposed to be like open-ended. It was like left on a cliffhanger. The next thing on here is the animated Tangled show. I don't know what the show is called. I hated this show. I hated it with every fiber of my being, but I was watching every episode. Let's talk about that, Maddie. But I think I was more watching it out of hate. I was like, I have to watch this show to tell everyone how much I hate it and what about it I hate. So I guess there was like, I had some good reasons, maybe, if I was doing my research correctly. I'm pretty sure one of my reasons was like, why are we expanding upon Tangled? Like, I didn't understand the concept. And also like the lore was confusing. Like it didn't make any sense. I haven't seen it since. It might be good. I don't know. Next one on here is Game Shakers. This is a horrible show. I need everyone to know that I think this is a horrible show. Maybe it's good for kids. Maybe not. I don't know. I was watching it and I enjoyed it to a certain degree. I wouldn't say it was my favorite show, which I've said about 50 times already. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to put it in I was there, man, because I was in fact there. Next one we have Austin and Ally. My mom really liked this show. She loved Austin and Ally. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Because of that, I think I liked it a little bit more, but I also really liked this show on its own because I also had a crush on Ross Lynch. So there's that. Would I say that I was supposed to be in the movie? No. But I would say I was clocking it. The next thing is 100 Things to Do Before High School. I hated this damn show. I didn't understand why it existed. I thought it was so stupid. I don't think it's a crazy thing for me to say, like, this was a bad show, just because I don't think anybody remembers it. But I really hated it. I haven't seen it since. Next one on here is The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Obviously, I loved this show. So much so that when my sister and I decided to make a channel, we called it Z&C Adventures. Obviously referring to Zack and Cody, who we are, of course. I don't think I need to elaborate. Everyone knows that the show is really good. Next one on here is iCarly. I think I had a lot of episodes of iCarly on my Kindle as well, because I remember watching it there. I remember watching some of them when it was airing, but I think I'm gonna put in clocking it, because I was there. And it was probably my favorite show for like a good while. So next one on here is The Fairly Odd Parents. When I was a kid, I loved this show. This was like one of my favorite shows ever, except I wasn't allowed to watch it. You know how there's like, oh my god, the people who weren't allowed to watch SpongeBob? This was like kind of that for me. I wasn't allowed to like watch what my mom deemed as dumb cartoons. This was one of them, but whenever I went to my friend's house, she was allowed to watch anything, so I would watch it there, and I loved this show. Do I think it's the best show ever created now? Well, no, definitely not. So I'm gonna put it, I was supposed to be in the movie. The next one in here, SpongeBob SquarePants. Instant, I was supposed to be in the movie. I was not allowed to watch SpongeBob as a kid. I don't know if you could tell. You might be able to tell. I watched it when I was at my cousin's house because they were allowed to watch anything. So I did watch it, but I just wasn't allowed to watch it at home. I was watching it literally anywhere else I could. Next thing on here, Bella and the Bulldogs. I really liked the concept of the show. It actually made me want to do sports. I've never had any urge to do a sport in my entire life. Not once. Would I say I was supposed to be in the movie? Absolutely not. I would say I was clocking in to a certain degree. Maybe not even that much. I was there. Also, Matt Cornett made an appearance in that show, and I love Matt Cornett. Next one is Ant Farm. I loved Ant Farm. Instant, I was supposed to be in the movie. This was like my favorite show when it was airing. And then it stopped airing, of course. And then I was like, well, I have to get a new one. Also, I had a crush on Jake Short. This is information we already know, and so that was part of the reason that I liked it so much. Anyway, next one on here, Sam and Cat. Objectively, a horrible show. We all know this. This is information we all know. It's a horrible show. I really liked it. Are we shocked by this news? No. If there was a bad show out there, I probably liked it. I think I'm going to put it in clocking it. The next one on here is The Casa Grandes. I don't remember putting this on here, but I was watching it, so I guess that makes sense. Do people like this show? I don't know. I don't know any discourse around the show. I only know like maybe some discourse about the Loud House, but not even that. Like watching new episodes? Probably not. I would say I was there. I was there when it was happening, and I did enjoy the show. The next one on here is Bunk'd. So this is a very specific chunk of that show. I don't know what happens after like season 3. Once there was no more Ross kids there, I don't know. I don't know what was happening. So this is like referring to the first 3 seasons, I guess. I guess I was clocking in to a certain degree. Did I think it was great at the time? I thought it was okay. I thought it was TV and I was willing to watch it. The next one on here is The Lodge. I fucking love this show. I haven't seen season 2, but if you want to hear about season 2, you can go watch my sister's video where she talks about The Lodge. I'm gonna put it in, I was supposed to be in the movie. I love this show so much. I would listen to the soundtrack like on my iPod. The next thing on here is Apple and Onion. This is technically a Cartoon Network show. It was one of the only things we ever watched on Cartoon Network, so I had to put it on here. But we were only probably watching it if nothing else was on. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this show, but if it was on and nothing else was, we were having a good time. For that reason, I think I have to put it in I didn't know that was happening, simply because like we weren't tuning in to the show. Next one on here, Pair of Kings. I hated the show. It was part of the I thought this was a boys show sort of thing, and for that reason I didn't like it. I think I would have liked it if I had watched it, because I've seen some of it since, and it's not a bad show. I think if I had just like sat down and forced myself to watch it, I would have liked it. But the concept of it being for boys, ruining it for me. The next thing on here is Sanjay and Craig. If you're like, hey Maddie, what the fuck is that? I don't know. I was watching everything. I literally anything that was airing, I was watching. I didn't like the show though. I thought it was dumb. I think this was like part of the boy shows on Nick, if that makes sense. I'm not really sure what the show entails. I like don't remember. I don't remember a thing, but I remember not liking it. The next thing on here is The Haunted Hathaways. I could not tell you a single thing about the show, but somehow I didn't like it, but at the same time, like I didn't hate it. If it was on, like it wasn't the worst day of my life. For that reason, I'm gonna put it in I didn't know that was happening, because I feel like if nothing else was on, I would probably watch this. Next one, Big City Greens. This show is still airing to my knowledge. I still watch it on Disney Channel. Is it a great show? I would say so. Yes. I really like that show. I think it's really cute. When it was first airing, I didn't like it that much, but now I like it a lot more. For that reason, I'm gonna put it in I Was There, Man. Next one, Hannah Montana. Instant, I was supposed to be in the movie. This is not news to anyone. Hannah Montana is a great show. We all know this. No one should be shocked that it was in the top one. The next one is Milo Murphy's Law. I was there. And for that reason, I'm going to put it in I Was There, Man. I wouldn't say that I was clocking it, because I don't even remember Dr. Doofenshmirtz being in that show. Also, shout out Sabrina Carpenter. The next one on here is Walk the Prank. So my sister is currently in the process of rewatching this show for potentially a video, and I watched a few episodes with her, and I'm still confused to this day a little bit, but when I was a kid, I didn't understand the concept of the show. I was so confused between like the scripted like storytelling parts of it and then the pranks. I still don't know the logistics behind it, okay? And I'm not willing to like trying to figure it out unless someone tells me. That would be super awesome. Was I clocking in? Well, yes.
Yes.
Indeed, I was clocking in. I needed to be there. I needed to know what was happening. Also, I had a crush on that main guy, so there you go. The next one on here is Good Luck Charlie. When my sister was a kid, she was blonde, and for some reason, everyone thought she looked like Charlie, and so she had the nickname of Charlie, like the first 4 years of her life, which is crazy because it's nothing like her name at all. That's really special. I did like this show. I had a crush on Bradley Stephen Perry. Are we shocked by this news? God, no. I'm gonna put it in not there. Clocking it. Next one on here, Liv and Maddie. I loved this show. There wasn't one thing that I particularly liked. I loved it all, and for that reason, I was supposed to be in the movie, of course. Next one is Every Which Way. Check out my sister's channel. In a few months, you'll see something very special. I loved this show because I liked the concept of magic, and I didn't really like dramas as a kid. Like, if there was no laugh track, then it was kind of hard for me to like process things because I was very anxious, and so when things were like happening that I wasn't comfortable with, then I got really scared that like something bad was gonna happen, and that's like the whole point. They create tension. I didn't like tension, but I did like the show. The next one on here is Kirby Buckets. Instant evil. I hated this show. I thought it was so stupid. I have maybe seen one episode of it, like at all, in my entire life. I just thought it was really dumb after that. I'm not sure what it's about, but I just didn't like it, which is shocking because I feel like I would have had a crush on the main kid. The next one on here is Make It Pop. If you know what Make It Pop is, that's like so real, because I literally have never heard anyone talk about the show. I loved this show. I thought it was amazing. I'm gonna put it in Clocking It. I don't think it was like my favorite show. Oh, I don't know. I really did like this show. Never mind. I'm gonna put it in I Was Supposed to Be in the Movie. I think it deserves to go there. I really liked this show. It was amazing. It had music, and I love musicals. So anything that had music involved, I was kind of sad. So this next one is Talia in the Kitchen. I couldn't tell you a damn thing about the show. All I know is that it had a crossover with Every Which Way, and because of that, I started watching the show. I think that was the whole purpose. I'm pretty sure that their backdoor pilot was the crossover. For that reason, I wasn't clocking in though. I don't think I cared enough about this show. I liked Every Which Way a lot more. So I'm gonna put it in I Was There. No, I lied. It's gonna go in I didn't know that was happening. It was not something I was like tuning into. If it was on, I might have watched it. Next one, Parker Plays. If you're like, hey, what is that? You're missing out on greatness. Parker Plays was similar to Player Select, but it was only one guy. He actually has a YouTube channel. I don't know his name. His name is Parker. He just got a show on Disney XD, and he would just like play games. That was how I was introduced to Tattletale and many other games. Hello Neighbor. He played a lot of that. I loved this show, like to an unhealthy degree. So it has to go and I Was Supposed to Be in the Movie. Like I was changing the channel to see if it was on. And they used to play it at night. It was at like 7 p.m. or something. So like that was how I was spending my nights, watching Parker Plays. Next one on here, Night Squad. I don't remember much about Night Squad, but I liked it enough. So I'm gonna put it in I Was There, Man. Do I remember them doing a crossover with Henry Danger? No. I was not watching Henry Danger at that point. I was tuned out of that show. So this is called Bug Juice, My Adventures at Camp. I couldn't even explain this show to you if I like really wanted to. I think it's like they just like film people at camp. It's like a reality show. This was the reboot that Disney did back in like 2016, I think. I'm making that number up. I don't know. I remember watching this show. I don't remember much about it, but I remember like I hated some people on it. So like I was kind of like tuning in, if that makes sense. No, I think I have to put it in clocking in. I think I do. I think it's just like the way things are gonna have to go. Next one on here is Raven's Home. I think I only saw the first season of this show, but I remember watching the first season and thinking, this isn't very good. You know what is good? That's So Raven. That's an incredible show. But I never watched it when I was growing up. This is not a very good reboot. Let's talk about that. I think people already have. I was there. For sure, though. Next one is School of Rock, not to be confused with the one with Jack Black. This is the show on Nickelodeon. I believe this was like 2015, 2016? I don't know. I didn't like the show. I thought it was bad. Have I seen an episode of it? No. I'm pretty sure I never saw an episode of this and just like saw the promo and said, yeah, that looks dumb. I'm never watching that. The next one, the Thundermans. I really liked the Thundermans. I wouldn't say I was clocking in, but I really did like it when it was on. So I'm gonna put it, I was there. Not this fuck ass show. Dog with a Blog. This show is so stupid. It is the dumbest show I've ever seen in my life. I think I probably feel the same way about this that my mom does SpongeBob. And I'm kind of actually like shocked that once again it made it out of the writer's room. I don't know how it did. How did I feel about it as a kid? I don't know. I think I was like watching it. I know I was because there's one episode with Emery Kelly in it. And I remember clocking that information because I had a crush on him. We all know this. Okay, yes. This I think I'm gonna put in I was there or I didn't know that was happening. I feel like with all the other shows, I'm gonna put it with I was there. I feel like that and Stuck in the Middle, like they should be on the same level, if that makes sense. Yes. Next is Wander Over Yonder. This show is amazing. If you haven't seen it, you have to go watch it. Have I seen it since it aired? No. It might be a bad show, but as a kid, I loved this show. So it's gonna go and I'm supposed to be in the movie, of course. Next one, The Sweet Life on Deck. I didn't like this as much as Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I thought it was kind of weird that they were on a boat. And I didn't really like the addition of like new people. I didn't know who they were. And that bugged me. I didn't really want to watch this if it was on. I'm gonna put it in, I didn't know that was happening. I think that's where it deserves to go. I like, if it was on, it wasn't something I was like really wanting to watch. I would much rather watch The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Next is Wizards of Waverly Place. Instant, I was supposed to be in the movie. Simply because it's a great show. Also, Selena Gomez, love her. Next is Big Time Rush. If you know anything about me, I love Big Time Rush. They're my favorite. I love the show. I think it's amazing. When I was a kid, I hated this show. I thought it was so dumb and I like couldn't stand it, and it like pains me to say this. I don't know why. I wish I had a reason. If I had sat down and watched the show, I would have had a crush on all 4 of them. So I don't know what I was thinking. It's ridiculous, but I did hate this show. So unfortunately it has to go at the bottom. The next thing on here, The Loud House. I really liked The Loud House when it was on TV. Are they still making it? I don't know. When I would come home from school, this is what I wanted to watch. For that reason, it has to go. I was supposed to be in the movie. So the next one, Andi Mack. It's not a great show, and I don't think that's a crazy thing to say, but it's also like so bad that it's kind of good. It's like intriguing. Like you want to know what happens next because it like can't possibly get any worse. And somehow I think it did. It's insane. I don't think there's words I could use to describe this show. You can't go watch it anywhere unless you watch it illegally, which I would never do because I never do anything illegal. This show I did like to a certain degree. I think it was more like I needed to like see what was happening. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it in clocking in because I in fact was clocking in. I had to know what was going on. And very last, we have Gravity Falls. This is an amazing show. This is information we all know. Everyone knows that Gravity Falls is an amazing show. I don't have to tell you how good it is. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it in I was supposed to see the movie, of course. They're doing reruns on Disney XD currently, so. Do I agree with all of the things going on here? No. But this is what past Maddie was thinking. And I guess we have to applaud her in some categories. Certainly not a few. Lab Rat Sleep Force being at the top is so offensive on many levels. I don't know what I was thinking. Clearly not much. Big Time Rush on the bottom hurts my soul. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you'd like Markiplier. See, and if you don't subscribe, then I know you don't like Markiplier, and that's really rude. Check out my sister's channel. I've mentioned about like 40 times already this video, so you might as well. We also have a shared channel where we have a podcast. If you don't like podcasts, don't you worry. We plan on doing other videos soon, like not podcast videos. So you should subscribe for when we do those. All of that will be in the description where everything else usually is. That's all from me. Bye-bye.